Hey, Kyle here. This is going to be a little bit of a different episode. It's a shorter update, and I'll give some encouragement in it as well. But we've got a lot of exciting things happening at Wokepedia, and we wanted to let you know at least a hint of what is going to be coming in the new year, and also to give you a little update on why there isn't a normal episode today, nor will there be a normal episode next Wednesday. There will still be episodes of the radio show, but not the podcast. Why? Well, one, because it's Christmas and we kind of want a little bit of a break. But two, we need to take some time to get ready the next phase of things. And that's really what I want to introduce to you is we've got some big projects and big changes coming down the pipeline. Now, that does mean some losses at the same time. The radio program has just been, it's expensive to be on the radio, and we've decided that it's not worth the cost. Equipping the Persecuted was helping us with that heavily, but we don't want to just take away from the mission, and the dollars to effectiveness ratio aren't there at the moment, at the least. So we're going to be getting rid of the radio program, and the podcast is going to be seeing a little bit of a revamp, which is, again, what we're going to be spending the next couple weeks working on is the next phase of the podcast, as well as what's going to be replacing the radio. We're taking feedback from people, feedback we've already gotten, but if you have additional feedback, contact us. contactwokepedia@gmail.com. Let us know how the podcast and radio program has been useful and your ideas to improve it. What would you like to see? What would be helpful? Ideas you have, let us know. We've got our own thoughts that we're going to be working on, but your input is valuable to know that it's actually, being useful. Because that's the whole point of we're being here. We're providing something for you that is useful. And if it's not useful, then we're failing. We're also going to be doing a major rework of the website, of Wokepedia's website, including possibly a new domain. So you don't just go straight through the enemieswithinthechurch.com domain, but that's potential. We got to figure that out exactly. Unfortunately, there is someone that owns wokepedia.com that has never used it and will not sell it to us. But we're going to be making a major rework of the website, which will allow it to be much more usable both to you as well as for us, which will mean there's going to be much more regular content schedule. We're expanding the team a little bit behind the scenes. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of excitement. But again, we're taking these last couple weeks of the year to spend time with family, spend time celebrating Christ's birth, as well as planning the next steps. So good things happening. Now, we are working really hard on all this, and it's not free. None of us are employees of an organization. We're doing this for you. We would love to see it to be a more formalized ministry. But again, even what we're doing, we can't just sustain for free. So if you'd like to help us, go to enemieswithinthechurch.com. There's a button to donate. That really gives us a lot of options and freedom. And there's a lot of really useful projects, really cool projects that we have lined up that cost money. And the question is not even just which ones can we do, but it's, can we do any of them? So if you liked Enemies Within the Church, the film, if you like Wokepedia, please consider donating. But if it's at the expense of, donating to your church or something of that nature, we're secondary consideration. We understand that. We also believe we have something important and valuable, and if it is useful to you, consider donating. with all that said, I want to just leave with a little bit of encouragement to you to have a good Christmas. Have an exciting Christmas. Again, Christmas is happening on Sunday this year. That's exciting. We talked about in a previous episode, was that last week's episode? Yes, it was, that there are churches that aren't meeting, either just at all or online only. That's just sad to me. Again, Easter is the greatest holiday, the greatest day of the year that we have. A time to explicitly celebrate the resurrection of Christ in again, a bigger, bolder way than every Sunday. And then we have Christmas, which is second only to Easter, the coming of Christ to earth. But then when Christmas falls on a Sunday, sorry about that, got a phone call. Where were we? Sunday, Christmas Sunday, the blending of the two. It's Gospel Sunday, the whole gospel, the coming of Christ and the death and resurrection of Christ. We get to kind of do the whole thing. That's exciting. I mean, churches should be so ready to celebrate that, and yet they aren't. So my encouragement to you is to just remember Sunday. Sunday in general is an important day. It's an important day to meet. Why do we meet on Sunday? Because we're honoring the resurrection of Jesus Christ. We're remembering the day that it happened, the day of the week it happened. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. No, it does. Why did we choose to continue on the day that Christ rose on Sunday? Because it was, as the early church called it, it was the 8th day. The Sabbath was on the 7th day. The Sabbath was when God rested from his work of creation, when it was finished, complete, and good. Then we ruined it with sin. And so when Christ rose victorious over death, ushered in was the first fruits in that resurrection of the new creation. The early church got it. And they went, we ruined God's perfect and good creation. And now he has made a way to restore it, to bring about a new creation. It's the 8th day. It's the continuation. It's the next step. So just as we honored God's work in creation, we now honor God's new creation. It's not about you. It's not about anything else. It's about honoring Christ. Yeah, there are times when you physically can't get to church. There are times when there's going to be something in the way, and it's not, a law to meet on Sunday. But we do it because we love Christ and we want to honor him in the work that he did. So just remember that. Remember that as you go to church on Sunday, Christmas Sunday. You get to remember why you're there, the work that Christ did, and you get to remember the birth of Christ. I can't think of anything more wonderful than that. That's beautiful. Until I see Christ face to face, it's about the best combination of days I can think of. So just have a Merry Christmas. Now, again, I don't know why I said it like that, but the radio program was sponsored by Equipping the Persecuted. They do phenomenal work. You really need to go to equippingthepersecuted.org and consider donating. I mean, just today, there was some attacks in Nigeria, leaving, I think it was 46 people dead, burned alive in a house or building of some kind. And they're on the scene to try and take care of these people. Take care of the families, the orphans, the people that are now without food because all the crops were burned as well. Please consider going and donating. And they're not just responding from afar. They have in the middle of the dangerous areas, not over where it's safe in luxury apartments in nicer parts. No. They have local facilities where they're actually immediately there, taking care of the people, just making dollars stretch much further than some of the bigger names that you hear. They do good work. So we're going to end this off with playing just a little message from, not from equipping the persecuted themselves, but from the children that they're helping. Merry Christmas.